Hi everyone, I'm Scott from Sharky's Greenhouses and Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, and today we're talking about one of those questions that we get all the time. And it's summer, it's getting hot out, and that question is, can I fertilize when it's hot out? And the simple answer is yes, of course you can. That's the real world that we live in, but there's some people that like to say, no, you cannot fertilize when it's hot out. You're gonna harm your plants and flowers. Well, actually, you're gonna harm your plants and flowers if you're not feeding them the nutrition that they need. And for me, I live in the real world. I live in greenhouses that are almost always 100 plus degrees. Sometimes it's 120 degrees daily. Sometimes I've seen 135 degrees. That's just my world. That's what I live in. And I have to fertilize, I have to feed my plants and flowers, those 500,000 flowers that we're growing every year. They have to be in the heat. They get it from morning on. They're getting that hot, intense heat in the greenhouses because that heat gets trapped in. So, that's my world. That's the real world. And some of you live in the real world of, you live in Texas, you live in Florida. Those are hot areas, down in the south, and you're used to this heat. And of course, you have to be fertilizing your plants and flowers regardless. Otherwise, you would never be able to do it. You would never feed your flowers. So the simple answer is, can you fertilize when it's hot out? Yes, you should be feeding your plants, of course. You should be feeding them that nutrition. They need it, especially when it's hot out. Now, here's my discernment that when you're fertilizing, you really should be doing it in the morning when it's a lot cooler. So try to feed them water in the morning, and we preach that anyway, that you really should be watering in the morning, because then those plants have a time to kind of dry down and go through the day, and where we're not watering it at night. So you should really be doing it in the morning. So go ahead and fertilize and water in the morning when it's a little bit cooler and when it's the appropriate time. And using that Fertilizer Friday, that's a good way to remember that, okay, yeah, that's the day of the week that I'm going to go ahead and fertilize my plants and flowers. But I wanted to really push all this stuff. We had some parties going on, and I wanted to really get everything looking good. I was fertilizing these flowers here a few times a week, so about every other day, before the 4th of July, and getting everything looking good for that time. I was fertilizing a couple times a week because I really wanted to push those flowers out. And it was hot. It was 90 plus degrees, and we had no rain, we had no relief. So yeah, I was going through and I was fertilizing about every other day to really get this stuff looking good. And you can do that too until you are kind of satisfied with how things are looking, and then you can kind of tear down to about once a week, as that's your normal feeding program. If you're liking our videos, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of how-to videos there. And then you can hop on over to our beatyourneighbor.com website, where we have tips and tricks and blog articles, and of course our Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer. And you can find that all over at beatyourneighbor.com. Have a great day.